talk about the reaction in the bond market.
Yeah.
What does the bond market make of this whole
Well,
thing?
Greece isn't, I mean, the Greek bonds have kind of become completely unhooked from the rest of the market. So they're sort of off doing their own thing. They're down a little bit today, so the yields are up. But kind of what I think a lot of people are watching is sort of what Portugal's doing on the Greek
the
thing.
next domino.
And Portugal has been, the Portuguese yields have been coming in today. People have been buying Portuguese bonds, which is kind of a good sign that.
Where are they at now?
Well, it's still high yields, though, right?
I think the yields are. Oh yeah, the yields are like. I think for the on a. I think it's on a 2. I think it's 2 years about 11% or something like that. So
That's
on a 2 year.
unsustainable.
yeah. So no, I'm sorry. On a 10-year. On a 10-year.
On a 10-year.
Yeah.
Still
Yeah.
it's very, very high.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, you know, it's a good question. Why? Okay, if that's what Portugal's bonds are yielding right now, why aren't people more worried about Portugal right now?
Well, they've kind of been coming in. I mean, they've actually been sort of coming in again a little bit, Portugal, and I think that its debt dynamics are not quite as bad. Its banks aren't quite as bad. So I think people are a little bit, and they can kind of buy the fact that the eurozone can pay for whatever Portugal needs. I think that the Greek situation is just. I think people are just kind of. They're expecting something bad to happen, and it's already sort of in the market.
I think the conventional wisdom is that if this were to be a normal, functioning market, you couldn't sustain 11%. I mean, it was only because of the fact that the EU is going to be picking up the other side of the tab that this will work through. So at some point, they've got to get those yields down, otherwise they stay in perpetual bailout status.
Right. Then if they can't get access to the market within a few years, I mean, then it's going to be.
And if they want perpetual bailout status, they did go on with the same sort of reforms that Greece is doing, and therein lies the problem.
Well, we've talked about this downstairs. It's just that it doesn't seem possible how Greece can promise. And the political class can say, yes, we're willing to do these painful things. But if the people aren't willing to go along with it, I mean, to have a sustain, like the history of public finances in democracies, the people pledge the public credit. The people are on board. They say, we as a country have decided to take on this debt and we will pay you back. But if the people are not on board, there's really no.
But that's where the question of how the optics look in this, right? In a way, they think, how many Greeks really support what's going on?
It's hard to say.
It's hard to say. There is a sense that there's a perhaps majority who don't want to leave the eurozone.
Probably no more than the number of Greeks in Parliament.
Perhaps. But this is the thing. This is what I mean with the optics. This could be a small fringe group. I mean, it probably is, right?
Right.
Portugal has been a much more subdued process, much more well organised, not necessarily as much anarchy in the streets.
Right. But there seems to be. I mean. Besides the violence that's kind of unsettling to see, I mean, there seems to be pretty widespread labor, discontent, people just protesting.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just basically what we were talking about. It's just basically, it's almost like for any politician with any sense of like, I want to be the politician of the future, just get in front of this parade. Just say like, I'm not on board. I mean, this is kind of like what happened in Iceland.
Yeah.
Like the entire political class, said, we're willing to take the pain. And the people were like, no. And then like another political party emerged and they voted everybody out.
We were just talking about, you may yet see that in Greece.